What's up, otakus? It's your tour guide here. We're gonna, we have. I cut my hair. So the wife and the kid are coming back this Saturday, and we're just winding down, kind of solo time. I miss my family very much, and I'm just so looking forward to having them back and driving me crazy, but that's what family's for, to drive you crazy. But yeah, so what's interesting is I'm kind of like decelerating in terms of like my mindset, because it's been so focused on pickups this year, 2024. And now we've just kind of like, after the comic show in Canada, where we picked up a lot of good stuff, I've been telling myself to now, kind of decelerate, put the brakes on the summer buying. If we go to a fall show, either Tacoma Grid City Comic Show or Vancouver, for the Vancouver Comic Show, whichever we choose to go to, we've got one more paycheck coming in, should get us to around $300 left in the budget. I figure even if I don't go up to like a big show, it's pretty much, my buying is going to be pretty much shut down. I'm not going to try to go to too many comic shops. I'm going to try to resist going to half-price books. It's going to be hard, but that's kind of where that's truly a sign of like me, kind of turning off the tap. And we'll just have money, some cash to either burn at the comic shows or just keep it in the bank till next year, till next summer. So I'm fine either way. And so what I anticipate, I usually do these like my top books of 2024 at the end of the year. So you'll probably see all these books at the end of or at least a portion of these books. I'll do maybe my top 10 or top 25. I picked up so much goodness this year, it may have to be top 25. But right now we've got way more than 25 books to show off. So this is going to be an omega flex session. My top pickups this summer, and this is just a good reflection of how good a summer we've had in terms of pickups. Because I really just kind of pulled out everything I picked up this summer that is just cool. It's just cool. It's like I got it because it was cool. So I guess we'll start with some Jim Lee goodness here. This is I got this for like $1 out of Ethan's dollar bin, and it's a loved copy. It's definitely been read. But we got a copy of Wizard 134, and this is exclusive Wizard cover art by Jim Lee, and incredible cover art. Now, I had the opportunity to pick this up still polybagged and in much better condition, and I didn't pick it up because it was $4. I still do want it. I do want like a sort of a polybag version, better condition. And the nice thing about the Wizard polybag is you can actually see the book. It's not like covering the book. It's kind of transparent, and you can see, it's kind of like in a bag like this. You can see most of the cover. But yeah, that's just a beautiful cover right there. I'm going to let you enjoy it a little bit. Jim Lee's Batman, the truth behind DC's hottest launch. So this was right at the time of the launch of Batman Hush. And you just gotta love this cover here. Joker did not get the VIP treatment by Batman. What's up? Yeah, Batman Agu. What up, Kenneth? Thanks for hanging out, guys. Hope you guys are doing well. So yeah, we're getting the summer started off right. The summer haul, the 2024. This one, so these are books from 2024. I don't want to just make it seem like I picked all of this up in the summer. This is a great example. I picked this up right at the beginning of the year and definitely qualifies for top pickups of 2024. And that's this beautiful Frank Miller Daredevil 188 Black Widow cover. Newsstand. Beautiful gray there. That is flexing the otaku way. All right, we got more stuff. This one is, in terms of condition, not so great. It's definitely put it in the fine category. It's got corner issues. The spine's all kind of beat up. But the core part of the book is still beautiful. This is one of those wraparounds. But yeah, Kingdom Come. Number 2, I believe this is. Book 2. Yeah, I think it's book 2. Beautiful Alex Ross cover there. It's classic. Love how he gets the lighting on, the lighting on these characters. Sort of menacing there. All right, so that's that. We also picked up this incredible John Byrne Silver Surfer cover. That is just John Byrne goodness right there. This is a Giant Action Comics Supergirl. Action Comics 373. Supergirl special. This is Neil Adams and Kurt Swan collaboration cover. Can't get any better than that. Absolutely cannot get better than that unless you have a photo cover of the late, great Christopher Reeve. That is flawless right there. I love that pickup. We also picked up some Doom books. Well, one Doom book. Do I have another Doom book in here somewhere? I guess I left them out. I left out the Doom books, it looked like. No, here it is. Nope, this one open. All right, I left out the Doom books, but that's fine. This is one of our Doom pickups, and definitely qualifies for one of our top pickups. I guess this would get in the top 25, right? Dave Cockrum cover there. That is very nice. We've got Superman 213. Beautiful Neil Adams cover there. Love this condition as well. It's in the fine, maybe VG plus. VG plus. This is in the fine category. Lois Lane 79. Early Neil Adams Superman cover. Action Comics 360. A Supergirl board game cover. It's awesome. Marvel Age 12. This is the first preview of the black suit Spidey design, submitted by this kid who got $100 for it, and then Marvel turned it into a multi-billion-dollar intellectual property. The guy got $100, $200 or something for it. That has to be like the biggest highway robbery in freaking history. Not to make that guy feel bad, but man, talk about taking advantage of a little kid. Superboy, I just killed Lana Lang. This is in the VG range. Superboy 151. Another brilliant, beautiful Neil Adams cover there. This one, man, this one just feels like I just love this cover. I have a new appreciation for Alex Ross, and I just feel like there are just a couple. There are some of his covers that just absolutely deserve love for how great the artwork is, and this is just one of them. It's this beautiful landscape cover of the Justice League, looking classic in the classic Alex Ross style. Gotta love that. We got some more books here. We got this great John Byrne, How to Draw Comics comic. Cover by John Byrne. That's just a cool book. We got Supergirl 1, Michael Turner cover. Absolute beauty. Absolute beauty. More John Byrne goodness. Action Comics 593. Superman getting some action. Comics, that is. Homage Studios swimsuit special. And on the back, we have this Wildstorm swimsuit edition. This is the back cover. Ooh la la, that is it. That is an incredible book. Incredible Hulk 377 newsstand. Iconic cover there. X-Men 158 newsstand. The Nom #1. Wonder Woman. There's a Frank Miller cover. Wonder Woman 298. What If? The X-Men What If 13. And Uncanny 267. Third appearance of Gambit. Beautiful. All right, let's take a little breather. That was a lot of books right there. A lot of flexing, a lot of goodness. Now we're going to kind of transition into some of the bigger books. So a lot of what you saw there, definitely, obviously the bigger books are key pickups, but some of these smaller books have the punch of a big book in terms of like favorites. Like this is just a huge pickup because it's a book we don't run into every day, and it's high grade, and it's definitely very personal to me. I love everything this book represents. So, like that, you'll definitely probably see in the top 25. There are a few in the, here that are going to be in the top 25. And, we've got way more than 25 books here still that we have to go through. So really what gets in that top 25 is just all going to come down to like what I feel is like a memorable pickup, something meaningful. Definitely this pickup was special. We got Fantastic Four 209. This is John Byrne's introduction to the run. He starts doing the artwork for Fantastic Four, and we've got the first cover appearance in comic appearance of Herbie the Robot. That is just cool right there. That is just cool. That's all that is. We've got some Golden Age Superboy, or maybe very early Silver Age Superboy. Superboy 76. Got the first appearance of Super Monkey, Beppo, the Super Monkey. We've got first appearance of Judge Dredd in American comic books. Judge Dredd #1. Beautiful, beautiful book right there. We got Action Comics. 356, Neil Adams' first work in Action Comics. We've got the Deadpool card, polybagged X-Force 1. Real nice condition on the card, too. Definitely like a 9 to 10 worthy grade on the card. We've got What If. Picked this one up for like half a cover, like $2. The newsstand variant. That we lucked out on that one. And this one as well. We got this one for $1. This was a $1 bin find. Check out that black spine. Couple spine ticks, but all in all, really, really beautiful condition. All right. And then this one we picked up for right around, $20 US. Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, beautiful Dave Stevens cover. I mean, this one she called out to me and said, buy me. And I said, yes, Sheena, I do as you please. So yeah, Sheena drove that sale. She was a closer on that sale. All right, here are some of the more big books. We've got Fantastic Four 243, the Galactus cover here by Byrne. That is just phenomenal. Phenomenal cover art right there. We've got Wonder Woman. I'm going to show these off at the same time. From the Bolin run, we've got 63 and 85. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful books right there. Yes. Hardcore flossin' flexin'. Brian Bolin, goodness, for exactly. And we're not stopping. We're not stopping with the Brian Bolin goodness. We're giving you another pair, another duo to feast your eyes on. A little Starro action. I just love this cover, man. This book is going to pop at some point. It's going to pop. Pop like it just won't stop. All right. All these books have the ability to pop, to be honest. They're just such classic books here. We've got Cyclops calling it quits. Cyclops calling it quits, saying, see you guys. Need to take a break from you. We got first cover appearance of the White Queen, Emma Frost, John Byrne. Goodness. Oh my goodness. So much goodness. All right, we've got the first appearance of Sexy Psylocke, or she would become Sexy Psylocke. First appearance of Betsy Braddock as the new Psylocke, or the Psylocke heir. This is really nice condition too. Solid VF copy. Very, very nice. This one, still can't believe we picked up this book. I got this book for like $20. We got Fantastic Four, number 57. Now it's low grade. The covers, there's a spine split. There's a coupon cutout. But overall, looks fabulous still. Yeah. Like if I just showed you this book without telling you any of that, you'd think, you know, like a VG copy, VG Plus. Beautiful looking copy. This one, I think, has a chance to be a VF, or a fine, at least a fine copy. Sorry, fine copy, solid fine copy, fine plus. World's Finest, 179. Beautiful Neil Adams cover there. Picked up a lot of good Neil Adams stuff. A lot of good Superman stuff too. Kurt Swan on Superman, 196. World's Finest, 169. Two classic Kurt Swan covers. Man, such classic Silver Age Superman, Batman images that we're looking at. Sign book, John Byrne signature on this Action Comics 590. What is this? 597. I guarantee that this scene does not appear in this issue. John Byrne, well, he signed it twice. Guess they're not in it. But we got the love triangle here. Lana, Lois, and Clark. Woo! So many great Superman books. Thanks, Meredith. Thanks, bro. It's been a crazy summer, man. I gotta say, there's just so much, picked up so much goodness. Jim Lee, 90 signature on number 2. That was like a $30 pickup right there. That was well worth $30. John Byrne. This is I think more goodness for you, fanboy. We got the Man of Steel number 1 with a killer signature right there and placement. This is a museum piece book right there. That's a museum piece book. Here's another museum piece book. Oh man, this is such a beautiful cover. This is truly among the top pickups. I mean, everything, I think, you know, the past 10 books I've shown off are all, you know, top 24 pickup books for the end of the year. You'll see the next 4 books, or this one. You'll see this one on the list. These are all just well, actually I've got 5 more books to show off. 6 more books to show off, and these next 6 books are definitely in the top 25 list. These are the biggest books, the pickups this summer. Yeah, because these are all from the summer. Yep. These next books are all summer pickups, some of the biggest of the year, and probably in my collection. Just like, this year was very surprising. Like, we got a lot of goodness, as you can see. I didn't even get out half the other goodness. I've been so focused. Like, everything we've been picking up this summer is just like super spot on in terms of like here's some more books that I didn't here's 2 additional books that we picked up this summer that we're adding to the list now. Jim Lee pickups like that, man, you're winning. You're winning in life when you got pickups like that. All right, so let's get to the big books that we picked up. This is just a nostalgic buy. It's fifth grade me, fifth grade me, getting what I want as an adult. It's the Canadian newsstand variant of Transformers 1, first print. We got a nice VF Plus copy here. Got a couple spine ticks in the back. Other than that, absolutely beautiful. Love that book. Woo, that's a big one. That's been on our to-do list since we got back into collecting. I've been trying to get that book into my collection, and we've just been waiting, and I picked this one up for about $51 US. So I got it for the price I wanted, and man, do I feel fortunate. I'm glad we waited. This one we picked up for what was this, like $55? $55 for this one, but a solid mid-grade copy. Yeah, beautiful looking book. This is Neil Adams' first work on the Batman title. So, first Batman book, and he does this incredible, just right out the gates, creating like an iconic classic cover for this issue, and now it's in my collection. Thank you, Mr. Adams. We have this book, classic Kurt Swan, classic story by Jerry Siegel. Supergirl is introduced to the world. This is just really it's just a nice, sweet Supergirl comic. She's the whole world shows her the love she deserves, and she's just beaming with joy and happiness that the world has accepted her. She doesn't have to pretend to be this she still, I guess, has to pretend to be the orphan girl, but she has like she can get out and about and not have to hide anymore. Thanks. Yeah. All right, this one is very special. This is a signed book here. This is a Carmine Infantino and Neil Adams collaboration cover. Neil Adams inked this cover here. His first inking on Batman. His first published work on a Batman book, Batman art. So huge book. We got it signed. That is another museum piece right there. Beautiful book. Another beautiful museum piece book. All right. Well, we've come down to the top 2 pickups of 2024, and we're going to do these. I take my time with these. These are on the wall. just take this one out here for a minute. We've got I'll show the back cover off first. Look how flawless this copy is. Take the bag off so you can see it. We got a 9/6 signature series Killing Joke. This is the first print. We got the Brian Ballin signature right here, right at Joker's wrist. And that, my friends, this could have easily been the pickup of the summer, but sadly it's the second best pickup of the summer. I love this book. This book will always be in my collection forever. And even when I die, I tell you can sell everything else off, but there's just a handful of books that you will not sell, and this is one of them. This is one that you must keep, because I'm talking to my son now. This is a book you will inherit and you must keep with you and give to your son, who has to give it to their son, and hopefully the cycle continues. But this book will always be in our collection. All right. That is not the last book I'm going to show. You guys, you've been following my channel. This is, I think, the third consecutive time in recent videos that I keep blabbering on about this book. And we're going to talk about this book a little bit in more detail, because I know I've been showing it off, and we've been really focused on like what the grade might be, but we haven't really talked about the significance of the book. So we will do that as soon as I get this back in its little bag here. All right, this thing wants to give me some strife here, so I gotta do them one at a time. All right, get this one in first. All right, that goes in there. Then this one goes in the back here. There we go. Okay. All right. Sorry for that. There we go. All right, back in its beautiful spot to where I can show it off on the wall. And we're just going to grab our number one pickup of the year, of the collection, of all time. I think this is the third time I'm showing off this book since we've got it. Superman 233. Now, this is actually an homage cover to a Golden Age book. And just bear with me. I have to look up the book's number. It is, here it is. Superman. I mean, it's a big Golden Age book. It's, I think, any Superman collector's dream to pick up. Superman 11. Okay, so there's, let me just kind of show off. I'm going to share my screen. Here's book. So Superman 11, classic cover, Golden Age cover. Yeah, looks to be a Joe Shuster cover. I would imagine it's Joe Shuster. Again, beautiful cover of him breaking chains, and Neil Adams, like the like the comic book artist that he is, he's got to pay homage to his forefathers or forecreators. He does that here in this book. And mind you, Neil put a lot of effort and thought into creating this homage. And his editors, they were more concerned with selling comic books, marketing this beautiful artwork to sell comic books. And they told when they got this sketch, they gave the inker, who I think on this particular book, let's look up who the inker is. I don't want to make the inker out to be like a Judas, right? But all right, well, the internet doesn't seem to give me this information. I'm curious now, though, who the inker is. I have to go to my app. All right, let me just go to my app real quick. Hang on. Oh man, my phone is gone now. All right, I have to look it up on my other phone. Sorry, I didn't come prepared. I just thought I'd just wing it. I just don't have all the information at my fingertips. We're getting there. Hang on. All right, so the other... Yeah, they're not giving me the inker, but I'm going to assume it's Murphy Anderson. We're going to assume the inker is Murphy Anderson. We don't know that for certain, but based off the intel that I have, we're going to say Murphy Anderson was the inker. So they get this beautiful sketch of, this image here, Superman standing, breaking the chains from Neil Adams. And then they're going to make the comic book, and they realize, well, we want to put some words between his legs, and Neil didn't give us enough spacing. So go ahead and erase this leg and extend it out. Neil's not going to mind, right? It's going to still look great. But what we want you to do is essentially change his original artwork and reposition the leg so that we can fit Kryptonite Nevermore. And I got to tell you, let's just assume they didn't put this stupid wording in there, Kryptonite Nevermore. They just took that out and they made the leg what it was originally, left it alone. and just put out the book. That cover would be so much cooler. It would be so much cooler than what we got here. I mean, not taking anything away from this book, but when you look at the leg, it's got to bother you as a comic book art lover, but as a person who just likes comic book art, that has got to bug you. If it doesn't bug you, then I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. Something in you is broken that is not broken in other people. This to me is like a classic cover, just perfect as is, until you're made aware of this little mistake. It was an editorial call, not an artistic call, but had the artistic call gone through, and there would just this is what it would look like, with the legs just there, no words, just the legs. And Neil Adams always signs this book. Like in every signed copy of this book I've seen online, Neil Adams always signs it here, like he's saying, this kryptonite word, never more would we like to see it anymore. Like, it's like he's like saying never more. No, this was a horrible. He's calling attention to the error there. Subtly he's bringing attention to it. But with all that being said, does not change our appreciation of the artwork. And really, the artist did do his best to try and make it seem somewhat natural and not so awkward. He does a great job. He does a great job just on the leg. If you just look at the leg, it's a nice job. But again, it just looks weird. It is what it is. But yeah, we got a signed copy of this, and again, we put the grade in about fine, fine minus in that grade, fine minus of this copy. Looks fabulous. Just got some, age-related small crease and some age-related issues. But boy, is it beautiful. This is mine now. And so, yeah, that right there, ladies and gentlemen. So, Neil Adams has gone on video and he's talked about this book, and he basically tells a story like, they ruined my artwork. He doesn't like, so it's not like he hates this cover. He doesn't hate the cover. He hates what the editors did to the cover. So let's establish that. Okay. There's a lot of talk like this is not one of Neil Adams' favorite works. We've got to clarify that statement. He probably put a lot of effort and loved the artwork that he created originally for the book. But when he looks at this book now, all he sees is them messing with his artwork, right? An inker who did not get his permission to erase what he drew and retrace and re-ink that into this. And again, Neil never got to own the original artwork on this particular piece, which is a shame, because that unadulterated original piece would have been, that would have been the gold standard, right? DC would be printing copies of that right now as intended, the facsimiles as intended without this wording and just his original artwork as it was intended. But no one kept it. No one thought to think, well, let's just keep this original copy, not erase it and like alter it, but let's keep that original copy and just make a facsimile of what we're going to do with the cover and then return the artwork to Neil. That might have appeased Neil I guess that would be better than the current situation where they just worked on the original artwork and shoved this thing out. So that is the nice, interesting story with this book. So Neil didn't appreciate this book just for that fact, the fact that they changed the artwork. But I also think this is probably one of Neil's like favorite pieces that he's done for Superman. It's unfortunate he didn't get the version that he had intended. But all that is now part of the history and lore with this book. And that's that, you know. Superman 233, if we're to talk about this more at length, is a pivotal time for Superman. This is Superman kind of being reintroduced in the Bronze Age. Is Neil's sort of approach to the character, sort of this more, you know, the character has real anatomy, you know, like the anatomy on this character is just spot on. And this becomes sort of the iconic image for the character Superman during the 1970s. And so, you know, when the director of Superman I'm blanking on his name right now. Richard Donner. So Richard Donner gets the assignment of wanting to create a movie, Superman movie, a blockbuster Superman movie. And he's tasked with casting a very difficult job. Who is going to be my Clark Kent? Who's going to portray Superman in my version of a modern take on a character that's been around up to that point? We're talking like 1978, 1979, right? Up to the late 70s had been around for 40 years, right? Good 40 years the character's been around. And it's been around at a very pivotal, from a very pivotal point in America's emergence as a world power, and America's growth as an economy and country. So here Superman is like entertaining the masses, the children, and doing it for multiple generations leading up to what is now taking the character to introducing the character to a new, a larger, I guess, portion of the population, right? If you're watching it on the big screen in the 70s, you're pretty much just distributing this content to the mass culture. And yeah, so Richard Donner, I'm not going to forget his name this time. Richard Donner took the images from what he was seeing in the comics at that time for Superman. And the images he was looking at were by Neil Adams. He even says, like, Neil Adams, he's never said it outright, but I've heard this being said by other creators who said the people who cast Superman and the people who cast Christopher Reeve as Superman had cast him because he was the embodiment of this image. The images by Neil Adams, the images we were seeing in the comic books. So, you know, those 70s artists people that were creating Superman's image throughout history, obviously they're going to go all the way back to the Golden Age. You know, they're probably looking at Superman 11. But in terms of like the modern perception of who this character was, this was the image that led to people selecting Christopher Reeve as the persona of Superman, the person who personified this cover or this image, the DC Comics image of the character at the time. So there's your link to the present. Here you have Neil Adams homaging the Golden Age, and in this new Bronze Age, images like the artwork that Neil was creating for DC Comics at the time of Superman was sort of the foundation for building the character's image on the big screen. And again, all this imagery led to people being like, wow, Christopher Reeve, that guy would make a great Superman. And he would represent the DC license the way we would want it, you know, comic accurate, real life persona, real life individual personifying the character for the first time since it was done on television, essentially, right? Superman, up to this point, was only really seen in the old 50s television serial, and now a motion picture box office hit. And the rest is history. The rest, you know, Superman. This is what's bothering me, and I hope it bothers other people as well. Superman, to me, when I watched the original movie, it's always been like my favorite movie of all time, and it's always positioned the character to be my favorite character, no matter what other things came on in my life, like Batman 1989, X-Men, all these things, subsequent things that would come in, and even like Transformers. I love Transformers, right? I love all these things, but I had such an early introduction to Superman on the big screen, and he's always remained my favorite. And what's sad to see is, like, I see all these videos now of younger kids, like kids who could be my children. They're young enough to be my kids. Now putting out videos where they're watching this classic movie for the first time. They're like, I've never watched Superman before in my entire life. I'm going to sit here and watch, and you're going to watch my reaction to it. And they're watching this film, and they're noting how dated it is and how weird it is. But eventually they get absorbed into the story and the characters, and they're like, wow, this is an incredible movie. And I see them overcome with like emotion because they know the history of the Christopher Reeve's battle with his disability. And they're understanding what they're seeing in terms of this performance being given by this incredible cast. The Superman cast, original cast, is just an incredible group of actors. And they're realizing, like, why haven't I watched this movie before? Why am I just getting attention to this now, this amazing piece of cinematic artwork? And why am I watching this now? And it just kind of makes me frustrated that Superman has gotten lost to an entire generation of people who don't know how great the character is. and I'm not even just talking about the character in comic books, because to be honest, I think DC, they have a champion in Batman, and for many years they run with their champion Batman, and they've neglected the Superman character. But he's always been there. But they've not that they've neglected it, but they've written him. You know, they've killed him off. They've written him in all these like what they are trying to. They're trying to just bring interesting takes on a very complex and classic character. It's hard to do that, you know. The guy's supposed to be America, and you got to put a guy who really can just like solve anything. Like he's smart enough to solve things. He's strong enough to just defend everybody. He doesn't have many weaknesses outside of kryptonite and the red sun, right? Those are his only two real issues. But yeah, it's hard to Batman's kind of, you can do this cyclical thing where you bring in villains and all this and keep him engaged, but Superman's really hard to do that for him, without having like literally to challenge Superman, you have to create something that's earth shattering, where he's like destroying buildings to protect people. He's putting himself in between the destruction of buildings and people, property, to take down whatever. And those are just like epic, right? You can't just be doing that every other week or every other day. It's just kind of got to build up to like a moment. And that's what I think that's harder to write for a character and keep it interesting. But anyway, they haven't been doing a good job. Superman, the character's been neglected for many, many years. People just don't have an interest in Superman. I know. I watched the videos. Only now that James Gunn is saying that he's doing a Superman movie are people like starting to pay attention. Oh, maybe I should watch Superman the movie, or maybe I should start reading the comic books, or maybe I should look. You just start to see this interest in Superman. That's fine. I've wanted that all along, and I hope that the reason why I hope James Gunn succeeds is because I want him to bring Superman, return his status to DC Comics, make people understand this character that's been around for 80 plus years. There's a reason why he's been around for 80 plus years, and I want you to, cherish and honor this cultural gift. Really, nothing more, iconic or representative of Americana culture than Superman, in my opinion. He's the pinnacle of the modern American superhero, or we should say folk hero. And that's why I'm just very appreciative now of the attention being given to Superman. Now, it's better late than never. I've just been complaining about it was not there before. And whatever the forces that be that kept it from not being present, that's changing now. Now that the big wigs at DC think like me, they all think like me, right? And they're just like, James, come on, you're going to be the guy who's going to bring a new definition of this character. It's a big feat. I do not want to be in James Gunn's shoes, because he has to reinvent this character for modern audiences, but appease the people who want to keep Superman the classic Superman, right? The golden age, Christopher Reeve, Neil Adams looking Superman, that image. And I think right now, from what I've seen, we're kind of the core of this story, the core of these characters, the core of what Superman represents is there in this James Gunn movie. And he's going to give us a nice modern dialogue with all these great characters, but it's going to reinforce, look, Superman is the superhero. He's the guy, and it's going to mark the comeback of DC. It's going to mark the comeback of this character. It's going to mark the comeback of DC. is just going to be phenomenal. And I guess you can see where my headspace is with all the Superman books I'm picking up. I am banking on that to happen big time. And really put what should be the most sought after books in comic books back at the forefront of the hobby, right? The best-selling book. You want to know what the best-selling book was for your dad or your granddad? That is what the best-selling book of the time was. And that is why you should watch the Christopher Reeve Superman. And that is why you should support James Gunn when he brings his vision of the character. He's paying homage to Christopher Reeve and the Richard Donner film, as he should. But that love is coming back. It's coming back strong, baby. And you've seen me build up to this, build up to next summer, really. When that film comes out, it's just going to be like mic drop for me in my collection. I'm just going to be like, boom, I'm ready. I'm ready for that movie to come out. I'm ready for these books to just spike up, and for the love for Superman to return. The outpouring of love for Superman to return, because I'm tired of all these people like showing off their books, and they're just, Wolverine, Deadpool, as great as Wolverine and Deadpool are, they're not greater than Superman. That's just my honest opinion. From a Superman lover, I guess you could say, from a Superman collector standpoint, nothing beats Superman. Nothing. No one even comes close. Wonder Woman comes close to being Superman. But no, not even Batman. Nobody. Psylocke comes close. Psylocke and Wonder Woman come close to being Superman. But that's it. Superman is tops. Never forget it. All right. So that is this session of Flexin' the Otaku Collection. And thanks for hanging out, guys. It's sort of a midday live stream. I don't get to do that all that often. But as you can see, I picked up a lot of great books this year. I don't anticipate picking up too many more. I think we're kind of done, but I'm going to pare this down toward the end of the year, and we'll review what I think are the top 25 pickups in terms of what you've seen here, what will make the top 25 list. You'll just have to view in later this year to find out. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.